I've done a Bachelor's of Biotechnology in India, and I joined Swinburne in 2018, and I basically started my Master's by research in developmental psychology. Currently I'm doing research on theory of mind.
I was originally enrolled in the Bachelor of Health Sciences, majoring in psychology and forensic science, and then one of my teachers told me not to do that and to switch into the Bachelor of Psychology because it's a lot easier to go onto honours and like a Master's or a PhD being in the Bachelor of Psychology. So I switched into that, but my main interest is forensic psychology, so that's where I want to take my career.
My main study areas would have to be psychology and neuroscience. The degree that I do, even though it's psych and psychophys, it's more of a neuroscience kind of based degree.
So I'm doing my Bachelor of Psychological Sciences honours this year, and I've done the 3-year Bachelor of Psychological Sciences undergrad. And during my undergrad, I had neuroscience as my co-major, along with psychology.
I'm doing a Bachelor of Health Science, majoring in neuroscience. I'm actually new into neuroscience stream. I did start my degree back in 2018. But for the first 3 years, I did psychology, psychophysiology major before switching over. And next year, I'll be jumping back into psychology, doing a graduate diploma of psychology.
My uncle used to work at a psychiatric prison, so that's where I want to take my pathway. I've always found it really interesting, and I think it's an aspect of psychology that is still growing, still changing. We sort of always talk about the fact that the law doesn't really want us there, but we're trying to make our presence known.
My pathway for me specifically is a neuropsych pathway. So the main study areas for me are like personality of psychology, neurological monitoring, neuroscience, neurophys, and the hope is after I finish this degree to go into my honours in psychology, hopefully neuropsychology.
Into the clinical psychology. So that's the pathway. So to do that, obviously did my bachelor's, now I'm doing honours. I want to do master's in clinical psychology. There is also another degree at Swinburne, which is, and some other universities offer it as well, which is the PhD of clinical psychology. So it combines the coursework of clinical psych, and then you also do a thesis with research.
Wherever I go, I kind of want to apply neuroscience to my psychology practice, but I'm not 100% sure if I want to get into pure neuropsychology or just get some behavioural neuroscience experience and then just go into clinical psychology.
So I have been involved with open science because that's what my supervisor, Jennifer Baudry, was really interested in, even Jodie Kaufman, both of them are really interested in open science. And so I've attended this seminar called, international conference it is, AMOS, where we talked about how open science can help psychology research in moving forward.
So I did the certificate for mental health last year while we were in lockdown, so I did it in the June-July winter break, which was quite good because I wasn't doing too much else. So we did it predominantly online. We probably came on campus maybe 3 times. And then I was quite lucky to do a placement while we were still in stage 4 lockdown. And that virtually finished pretty much when we came out of lockdown, so it was quite convenient for me. But I'm also a part of the H Squad, so it's a health promotion group all led by students at Swinburne. So we do try to run events, do a lot of social media and just sort of promoting.
So the main extras I've probably found are I'm currently doing a 12-month placement under my degree, which is at a child and healthcare hospital, working in mental health with mother and child relationships. And I suppose the other big extracurricular thing with me was joining SUPA.
So I joined Swinburne in 2018. I joined SUPA at that time as well. It was a very small club at that time. And then a year later, obviously, then in 2019, we restarted the club, become the president. And so I've been part of that till last year. I got a research assistant position at the Swinburne Baby Lab in, I think, mid of 2019. So I spent like 6 months there. It was a lot of like just basics of becoming a research assistant.
So my time at Swinburne, clubs is my biggest thing. I've been on committees of about 5 clubs over the years. Other things I have done is volunteering for student life and volunteering at open days and things like that to show all the new students around the uni. And this year I am also a mentor leader, so I support the mentors in the student mentoring program.